We shall commence, colleagues. Thank you. And I will 1.1 again just remind us that in accordance with the Local Government Act 1993, Cowra Council is recording this meeting and will upload the recording to Council's website. By speaking at this meeting, you agree to being recorded and having that recording published in the public domain. Please ensure that when you speak at this meeting, you are respectful to others and use appropriate language at all times. Cowra Council accepts no liability for any defamatory or offensive remarks or gestures made during the course of this meeting. 1.2, we would acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather, the Rotary people, and pay our respects to the elders past and present. 1.3, apologies and leave of absence by councillors, and we have two. One is Councillor Fagan, who is on leave, and Councillor Watt, who is still unwell. So can I have someone move that we leave of absence be granted and apology accepted? Councillor Delbo, Councillor Kiss. I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour? Against, and I'll declare that carried. Disclosures of interest, and I'd invite any councillor or staff to please indicate in relation to any interest you need to declare. A, what report or item you are declaring interest in, whether the interest is pecuniary or non-pecuniary, and what is the nature of the interest. There is none. We have no presentations, and obviously we have no public forum. So we will move into the business paper proper and go to page 3, please, colleagues. Page 4 of the iPad, page 3, which is the minutes of the previous meeting, held 13th of June. Not right. 10th of July. Thank you, Councillor Wright. Seconder, please. Councillor Downing, thank you. And of course, we're talking about Monday, the 10th of July. Yeah. Okay. Any comments on those? Questions?
Just one comment. It was reported on that reliable source of information, Facebook, that council we're discussing changing the names of streets and roads in the Cowra Shire. As they'd seen the minutes of the council committee meeting or town meeting, that it should be noted that it's only a policy that we use to name any new streets or roads or lanes or whatever, parks. We're not changing names. Thank you.
So you're happy with the minutes as they are? Okay, thank you. Yep, no, just note that. Thank you. Yep, no. Yep. Changing names, yep. Thank you. Any further comments? I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour? Against, declare it carried. Go to item 3.1, page 17, please. Which is, sorry, yeah, 9. This is completely page 9, which is the Tidy Town? Yep. No. Yes. Yeah, it is the same. That's not even close. Thank you. Bear with me. The run sheet is not, or my eyes are not right. I don't know which. Tidy Towns. Councillor Smith will move Tidy Towns. Councillor Judy Smith. But she ended a second. Of course, she's allowed to speak. Councillor Kiss. Thank you. Councillor Smith.
I think everything in the minutes is self-explanatory, but happy to take questions. And I'll just let councillors and staff know that there was no meeting in July. I cancelled it with the agreement of the other members because I couldn't make it and Councillor Fagan was away and we were concerned we wouldn't have a quorum.
Further comment? Any questions? No questions? Right reply, obviously not required. I'll put the recommendation. Those in favour? Against, I will declare that carried. And you need to help me, colleagues, please. Page 14. Which is a traffic committee. I'm sure Councillor Paul Smith happy to move these. Can you get a second there? Sure, that Councillor Gownie. Yep, thank you. Councillor Paul Smith, are you going to speak, or do you wish to sit back and wait for questions? Any questions or comments? You don't let him off.
I just had
Don't
I
let
just
him off.
had one question about the change of parallel parking on the corner of Macquarie and Liverpool Street. That in front of the houses.
We had a look at that. I'd had a complaint from one of the residents along there. There is a traffic blister in the on the medium strip, I suppose, and it's been knocked over a couple of times. When you stand there and watch it, you do see the cars veer away from the line they're on to go that way. It's not excessive, and it was thought that perhaps if the first three car parks on the northeastern side, if they were parallel, it would give them more room there before they cut across, because they do tend to cut it. And also there is a bike lane there, which pushes them. Again, it's got a bit faded these days.
Yeah.
But last I heard, Rodney was going to measure it and see whether it complied, and that was the problem.
Yeah.
There had been a couple of hits on that, which is made to be hit apparently, and is replaced.
Once
Just
you,
plug. You just plug another one in.
yeah. And then there was the proposal from the soccer club about the speed zone change.
Yeah, not
over
a simple
Edgeworth.
thing. That there used to be probably still are signs that are turned folded back when they're not in use. Jason from Traffic New South Wales, in order to open that sign up, you have to be a licensed person. You can't just on Saturday go and unfold the sign and it becomes a 40k zone. So it basically went in the too hard basket. Someone from soccer would have to go and do the course, and only that person can open the signs. No one else can. So it just went in the too hard basket. It hasn't been used for a couple of years, and they thought they might start to use it again, but to be honest, it's just in the too hard basket.
Can we make sure soccer's aware of that scenario? Please, someone make a note and we'll make sure soccer's aware of that scenario.
So is the traffic committee going to contact soccer about that, or have they already done that?
Through the chair, what would normally happen when the minutes are adopted by council was that we'd let everybody know. We'd take actions as required.
So if someone needs to whisper in soccer's ear, ring the director. Thank you. Further comments, questions? Yep.
Everybody happy with Liverpool Lane and the reason why? Yep.
Seems sensible.
Oh, well,
The only question I had on that was I hope the residents are aware that will apply to them as well.
yes, it is, but it won't be, it'll be a no parking, not a no stopping, so that certainly they can't park there,
But they can
But
stop and unload their groceries. or
stop
pick
and
up
unload their trailer back in, do whatever it is they want to do, yeah. So, both Liverpool and Carlton Street don't have front access. So that's the only access they've got is through the lane to their block, if they've got a garage or anything like that. Once you get a couple of cars parked along there, you haven't got room to get into your house. So that was the reason for that.
That made sense, actually.
Of course it does.
I'll look at it. Further comments? Should I reply? Put the recommendation, all those in favour? Against, declare it carried. And I think I can go to page 21, 4.1, Access Committee. Is that right? Yep. Councillor Kish will move this, I'm sure. Second, Councillor Smith. Thank you, Judy Smith. Councillor Kish, do you wish to speak?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, just briefly. Firstly, just a quick apology for the delay in providing our minutes of the 24th of April. Misunderstanding, thought they'd gone in, but they actually hadn't. And look, I did want to mention too, as per page 22, item 2.1, just to say thank you. Our Access Committee actually specifically wanted to say thank you to the Director and staff for the creating the disabled car parking spaces at the Rose Garden. They're now compliant, which is wonderful. They look good as well. And in addition, for organising the layback, the corner of the Grenfell and Burrell Road, because that was quite a concern where you'd go across the road from the Rose Garden, but once you got to the other side of the intersection, you had a gutter, and it's not a very good place to be waiting around with the traffic there. So yeah, very much appreciative that that happened so quickly. And that's it. Thank you.
Questions, comments? Second has got nothing, wants to add? No comments, no questions. I'll put the right reply is not required. I'd suggest put the recommendation. I was in favour. Against, declare it carried. Page 32, 4.2, NRM committee. Councillor Peter Wright, I'm sure, is quite happy to move this. If you can get a seconder, please. He'll speak to this. Councillor Delbo, thank you. Councillor Wright, floor's yours. Looks like you're a bit busy. Any questions? The seconder wish to speak? Any questions? Be nice to see something come out of the Murray-Darling Basin and the Commonwealth water holder, but I'm sure they'll be wanting to tell us what a wonderful thing that is that the rivers actually ran, which is, need to remember it's probably climate driven. Yeah. Any further comments? Right reply? No further comments. I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour? Against, declare it carried. 4.3, page 36. Page 36 of the recommendation there. DA 56/2023. Warburton Street subdivision. Move Councillor Smith, second to Councillor Smith. Councillor Smith Junior. Wish to speak? Yeah, Councillor Smith, Councillor Judy Smith, Councillor Paul Smith.
This is a proposal for a subdivision and a creation of two smallish attached, semi-attached dwellings. I think it's great that we're going to, if we pass this, have more dwellings available in Cowra and more dwellings that will suit the needs of people as they perhaps get older and perhaps need less space around them. So there are a couple of areas in which it doesn't meet the requirements of the DCP. I think the front site frontage of one of them, which is about 2.5 metres less wide than the DCP requires, and the area of open space. But I think that those have all been adequately addressed. And I think that the concern is less because we've got two separate entrances for the two separate buildings. So space isn't being taken up by bypassing one building to get to the other one in a battle axe style. And if I remember correctly, there were no objections to this from any of the neighbours. So I think it's going to provide some very useful accommodation in Cowra.
Councillor Paul Smith.
Yes, it follows a theme in the street. There have been other instances of multiple dwellings on a similar block. They haven't caused a lot of trouble as yet. So I can't see why this one, the precedent has been set and we continue on with it.
Further comments? Councillor Kiss.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Yeah, look, just briefly, I'd actually like to commend the owners and Currajong Proprietary Limited on adopting some of the optional living housing design standards. I think it's a good investment in Shrire's commitment to inclusivity. And I understand that, as Councillor Judy Smith made mention to, one of the changes that we need to approve is to do with the private open space areas. But I think it's a worthwhile trade-off in that it's going to encourage the ageing in place by virtue of the housing designs. I think it's very worthwhile.
Further comments?
Yes, Mr Chairman. Did you say you? No,
so
ladies
moved.
before gentlemen.
No, you got the call.
Right.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, I find it very heartening that this DA's come to us after we had a meeting with regional development about housing availability in the Shire and the Central West. And this was one way that we can increase the housing supply, and it's good that they're building it in a form for people that might be a little bit older, but it'd also be good to have a smaller residence for a young couple or a single person to go and start their life in a house. So I wish them all the best, and I think the trade-offs are well covered in the document. Thank you.
Any further comments? Write a reply. Put the recommendation. All those in favour. Declare it carried unanimously. From my reading, there is no. Excuse me. There is no late reports. There is no notices of motions. No confidential matters. So we will have an early mark. Declare the meeting closed. Thank you.
No,